no signs, no mercy. Engine coughing like a dying dog. Blood on the driver's seat, dry dog, stiff. I pulled in slow at a gas pump graveyard. Neon buzzing like a broken hornet. Old man watching from behind cracked glass. Didn't blink, didn't ask. My boots hit the floorboards hard. Wood groaned like it knew my name. Pocket turned, metal slip. A set of truck keys kissed the grain. They spun once, then stopped breathing. In towns like this, truth don't shout. It stands quiet and lets the lies run. That engine kept bleeding down the road tonight. Oil and memory grinding the gears. Highway black as a preacher's lie. Sirens sleeping in my ears. I burned the miles but the night stayed still. Moon cold like a judge on a throne. The truck kept running past the borderline, but the key that mattered stayed alone. Rain started ticking on the rusted roof. Tin drum for a tie confession. Old man poured cheap whiskey in a paper cup, slid it down like a silent lesson. He saw the stains on my knuckles, gun oil hiding in the skin. Saw the ghost in the passenger door, trying hard not to climb back in. 3 hours back at a bridge of steel, my brother's shadow crossed my sight. Debt collector with a loaded grin. 2 shots split the night. One for the past, one for the lie we carried. Money screams loud, blood whispers slow, but truth walks barefoot where no one wants to go. That engine kept bleeding down the road tonight. Pistons chewing every mile. Dust rose up like a pack of wolves, chasing every crooked track. I pushed the throttle through my ribs, let the darkness take the wheel. The truck roared south through the border wind, but the truth refused to kneel. Neon flickered like a dying prayer. Keys lay still on the wounded wood. Silence held them like a verdict. That old man knew. Hell, I knew too. You can outrun sirens, you can outrun law, but a quiet piece of metal can hold your whole damn soul. So the engine kept bleeding into the dawn, chrome shaking like guilty bones. Border lights burning in the desert haze, calling every runaway home. But somewhere back in that crooked store, where the yellow bulbs swing slow, a pair of keys guard the only truth that my wheels will never outgrow. The truck kept running into the dust and sun. Miles kept stacking like sin, but the man who dropped those keys that night is never driving again.
cut behind the bar's back door. Boots grinding glass and rust, trash cans leaning like old drums, beer sour in the dust. Brick walls sweating the midnight heat, neon coughs down the lane, blood stained stiff on broken tile where somebody lost a name. Up high on a sagging power line, a mockingbird splits the air, singing some bright morning tune that don't belong down here. Sirens drift past the avenue, blue lights fade from sight. For one thin breath I taste the light, and maybe I'll outrun the night. That bird keeps singing on the wire, like the sky forgot the crime. LA choking on the life of every borrowed line. Lies scream loud in liquor breath, shouting through the fear. But truth walks soft through broken streets, and it's already here. Needles sleep in my jacket seam, white dust tucked in a matchbook fold. Every alley in this town sold me ways to lose the cold. I chewed the night with barbed fire, burned my lungs on crooked peaks. Thought the smoke could drown the past, thought the ghosts might finally sleep. Then I turned end of the alley, man just standing in the dark like he'd been there all week. No gun drawn, no footsteps sound, just eyes that nail my shadow to the cracked cement ground. That bird keeps singing on the wire, head tilted toward the sky. LA breathing rotten truth through every whisper lie. You can run through smoke and needles, through the sirens and the fear, but truth don't shout to hunt you down, it just waits till you're here. Wind slides down the alley throat, neon flickers like a bruise. Bird keeps carving silver notes through the wires above our shoes. You don't reach for iron, I don't reach to run. Some days travel quiet till the road is done. That bird still sings above the wire. truth arrives on silent feet and waits beneath the wire.
Smoke hangs thick in the factory bones, old oil breathing through the floor. Bare bulbs swinging on a wire like a clock that's keeping score. Concrete sweats through rusted pipes, chains drag slow across the chair. Your wrists grind rope against the wood, truth already breathing there. On the table lies the witness, yellow paper folded thin. Front page screaming from the past about the night you buried him. The bulb swings love, the bulb swings left. Every shadow shifts the weight of something buried in that night. This basement keeps what men deny. Walls grind every lie to dust. Smoke curls up like a crooked judge, reading names in iron rust. You can say you don't recall, say the years have sealed the scene, but the room already knows the truth, and the chair don't let you leave. I slide the paper across the steel. Your eyes dodge hard from the ink, but your knuckles tap the tabletop like a clock that's lost its link. Pictures staring from the headline, body chalk beneath the rain. Same alley where the sirens bled through the gutter's silver veins. You say no, you say it clean, sweat writes louder than your tongue in the smoke between. Ball keeps rocking overhead, shadows crawl along the wall. Truth don't beg for spoken words, time just tightens every call. This basement grinds through every lie, concrete holds the echoes tight. Smoke wraps slow around your breath like the fingers of that night. You can stare through empty eyes, you can swear your hands are clean, but the room already passed the sentence, and the chair don't break the scene. Swings lower, why complains? Paper flutters like a wounded wing. your eyes, your hands, you're shaking me. Remember everything. This basement holds what time won't wash. Stains sink deep in concrete veins. Smoke climbs slow through factory ribs like a sermon made of chains. Truth don't need a shouted word. Don't need mercy. Don't need breath in rooms like this beneath the world. Memory finishes the rest. Red neon bleeding through the window glass, sign buzzing like an open scar. Bar near the rail line, midnight late, freight trains breathing in the dark. You walked in slow coat full of rain, chair scraped hard across the floor. Two warm whiskey, sweating quiet between the men we were before. That pistol lay there on the table, still watching both our hands, like it knew the night was leaning toward a debt no law could stand. Jukebox grinding out of blues, needle dragging through the truth. Neon flickers counts the time like a judge with tired eyes. Neon don't pray for men like us, it only hums and paints us red. Two old brothers facing down all the crooked roads we tread. Justice don't ride in siren lights, it don't knock or beg or plead. In places like this near the rail yard tracks, it lives between the guns we lead. Ooh. You rubbed the rim of your whiskey glass, didn't drink, just watched it shade. Same hands that pulled me from a river back when we were dumb and brave. But something cracked 2 winters back, that job outside the county line. One man talked, one man ran, one man buried in the pines. Since then the night keeps calling through every barroom door, and this old table knows damn well what we both came here for. Neon stutters, breath gets slow, blues guitar begins to crawl. Truth sits quiet in the middle, steel and whiskey, that's all. Neon don't pray for men like us, it only hums above the sin. 2 worn shadows in a booth with a wall we're walking in. Lord, don't climb these broken stairs, mercy don't cross that door. In places like this by the station lights, justice rides the guns report. Train horn howled, window shook. Your hand moved first, or maybe mine. Two shots cracked the smoky air. Jukebox skipped, neon blinked. Neon still burns above that bar, like a wound that won't close tight. Two warm whiskeys left untouched, cooling in the dying light. One man breathing on the floor, one man walking to the rain. Neon don't pray for what we did, it just keeps humming through the pain.
Ted was climbing when we broke the ground. Mud gripped the shovel like it knew the sin. Cold iron struck what shouldn't be found. No one spoke when the sack rolled in. Under the pier the timbers groan. Ropes creaked like old cracked bones. The river slid by, long and gray, a blade that never goes home. Water don't judge, it only takes. But the night keeps count of every mistake. So we fed that river the weight we carried. Let the gray blade swallow the proof. Current rode it under the broken dock, quiet as a preacher's truth. The tide kept rising cold and sure, dragging the dark downstream. But the river took the body away and left the rest with me.
My hands in the running steel, river gripped my skin like law. Mud slid off in crooked trails, but something deeper never thawed. Lantern light cut my shadow thin, wind crawled slow through the chains. Somewhere far a freight horn cried like a ghost calling my name. Men talk loud, truth stays still. Water runs fast, but memory will. Yeah, we fed that river the weight we carried. Watch the gray blade close its mouth. Water dragged the secret wide toward the blackened southern mouth. The current ran like a runaway train through the cold night wind, but the river took the body away
man died, shoveling. Tide kept climbing through the beams. Water moved like nothing happened. But the silence saw everything. Saw the river took the weight we bear, cut through the mud and the lies we told. Gray blade running under the pier with a hunger dark and cold. Water can drag a corpse to sea, can bury the shape of the sin. But the man who dropped that sack tonight is the grave it's living in.